by the individual members to then take the issue forward.
Which would be at the next section or something like that.
Or a committee chair, if it was a petition that was brought to attention of the committee chair could say, we're gonna have a public hearing, we're gonna have a hearing on this subject. It's this is something in our purview, and we'd like to have a hearing on this subject. Just informational. It wouldn't be binding, it wouldn't be a bill, it wouldn't be legislative, but that could be done. The fact is, because these aren't being screened, and just because somebody asks for redress, I mean, what they may be asking for may be unconstitutional. And some of them that I saw talked about requiring Senate action. I mean, this is only a House petition; has nothing to do with the Senate. Some of them are again trying to override or being appealed to judicial, and the Supreme Court rules say you can't do that. So without getting into all that, we basically take the subject matter. Petitions are one of the first orders of business, I believe, aren't they? It's the second, right? And so it's read by summary and it's put on file. Any member wants to see it. I mean, it becomes a public glorified communication, if you will. But it's certainly a much, but it does get its day in the legislative journal.
So the question comes back to how does one get redress? And so I'm asking if Andy's Representative Brazil is correct. We're capable of giving redress. That's it, correcting something. And I would, as a member, then, having seen that thing, or possibly encourage the petition to be brought in the first place, I would then march down to Committee X, and say, can we have a hearing, or would I have an ad hoc hearing of my own? How would we move to the next level, or do I have to wait a year then actually to get? See, the redress agreement's idea is to get it into a hearing now and have it heard. Not half the bills we hear might be unconstitutional. We still hear the bills. When it comes to committee, I see them all the time. We do. When we bring our bills, we do our very best, and not necessarily constitutional, but we hear them. So the question is, why not, instead of going into a file system forward, a circular file, probably in this case, would be effective.
Again, only speaking for the subcommittee, I think it was important that it was not the intention to make the petition process a second form of bill writing. That bills are, that we have a system to set up to pass legislation, and that's the introduction of bills, and that petitions are a way for people to express their grievances. They can ask for redress, but really the proper way to do that is through the legislative process. A prayer for redress does not mean that the prayer has to be answered necessarily.
You got to get what it is, and I'm asking whether or not what it is I bring a bill in then to hear so-and-so's grievances. Would that be the case? Would that be what we're hearing now?
I mean, I think that's the option, right?
Would you like to make any further comments to the committee?
No, I would like to propose that, though, so we actually get, before this is over today, there's actually a way of actually moving redress and not just filing a petition. And that would be, my proposal would be to actually just say, all right, you can write it in there if you like, or find a way to write it in there that says members of the House may bring petitions for redress for hearings before the various committees.
Thank you. Are there any other questions for the representative? Thank you very much. Representative Jasper, did you have a comment?
I had a comment, perhaps a question. I think I clearly understand the intent, and I don't disagree with it. I believe that any member of the House could then, if there was timeliness, come to the committee and ask for a late introduction of a bill based on a petition. I guess my question is, since nothing is going to happen except it's going to be read into the record and placed on file, which my understanding for the last who knows how many years the petitions have come in and essentially gone in circular file, nobody's known about them, this makes everyone aware of them, which is a vast improvement over what's been done. Is it necessary to have a member of the public then find a representative who is willing to bring the petition in? Couldn't the petition be, what is the reason, I guess should be my question, what is the reason that we're requiring it to be brought in by a member versus just a person filing it with the House, which
I believe that's the way it's set up now.
May I address that?
I'm sorry, no. Representative Campbell.
David Fryman's here, who is a counsel to us on that, but I believe that's the way it's set up now, isn't it, David Fryman?
Yeah.
If your question is whether or not an individual has the right to file legislation who's not a member, no. Right now, in the state of New Hampshire, you have to be a member of the body in order to file
So
legislation.
the question is petitions. Petitions have to come in by members.
Yes, petitions also have to be filed by members.
That's the information we had, so that's what we're basing that on. I will say one other thing, because this is the last day for this session that we can get something in from the Rules Committee to get on the floor before the deadline, that it doesn't have to be amended by 2/3. We told Representative Itse at our subcommittee and tell others, if you have something that you want to be considered for the next biennium, a specific way to handle petitions, we certainly can look at that. But at this time, this is what the subcommittee is recommending for Rules Committee.
Representative.
Yes, thank you, Madam Speaker. And I would just add that I think the discussion that's ensuing here speaks to the fact that we should not do something quickly which could have unintended consequences and might not reach anyone's intended goal. So I truly believe that the solution set down in these three amendments here is, at this time, by far the most judicious and wise solution.
Is there a motion on the floor?
I was just going to ask. For a motion? Oh, okay. No, that's what I thought I was recognizing, sorry, which is why I was not clear. So would you like to make a motion?
I'll move that we adopt the subcommittee's recommendations as presented here in 3 points on this page.
Is there a second?
Second.
Representative Renzulo seconds the motion that we adopt the recommended changes to the House rules with regard to petitions that we have before us. Is there any further discussion? Are you ready for a vote? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed nay. The ayes have it, and the recommendations are adopted. We also had a subcommittee to look at email communication.